Studiales and Apostles of Good Millstone. Praises to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Kakadash. Shalom to the one that is Lord Zechariah, that in aid which are his occult Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as well as the bloodline who is still oppressed together, according to the book of Jeremiah 50:33, but to whom so lay belong the adoption, the glory, the covenants, the giving of the law, the service of God, and the promises, according to the book of Romans chapter 9 verse 4. Ecclesiastes 10:7, I have seen servants upon horses and princes working as servants upon the earth. That's what I want to talk about. Human Zoo in Belgium, 1958, which I was reading a commentary and it said like 1958 is not so long ago. Okay, that's actually the case, but it's also a remembrance how far we at the end, because look what happened from 1958 just kind of like 70 years later. Okay, all that new technology, all that new all the prophecies that happened since then. Just let that sink in, and then we can read it real quick before we go into the Scriptures World's Fair, which included, also before we read, this is Europe, okay? Which included a human soul displaying black men, women, and children in their supposed native conditions found in the Congo, then a Belgian colony. In Africa, Belgian people. No, in Belgium, Slovakia. Was confused because, of course, because it says human zoo in Belgium over there. Okay, so like I wanted to say it first in the video, so it's in Belgium. Come. Supposed native conditions found in the Congo, then a Belgian colony the people used were abused and taunted by white spectators who threw money and bananas over the bamboo fence to try to provoke a reaction. One Belgian journalist reported on how on one occasion a white woman threw a half candy bar over the fence to a young Congolese boy who promptly threw it back at her without even looking up, with an air of noble contempt. Yeah, of course, if you're really stupid enough to believe that you are not human because of your whatever skin color, then you can only explain it with the Bible, because it makes no sense for people to be like that. Okay, it just makes sense if you think about the prophecies that the curses should happen to these Congolese people or Bantu people oftentimes. Okay, not every last one in Congo is Israelite. Okay, because you have the so-called Bantu tribes, and out of 70 AD we fled out of Israel. Okay, we even go into that. Okay, later on. You see Psalms 137:7. Okay, remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem. 70 AD. Who said, raise it even to the foundation thereof. You see? So the daughter of Babylon, these people, right? But we'll go into that scripture later, but it shows you what happened 70 AD, and what happened is we fled into Africa, where we once were anyway. Okay, if you think about the Exodus, okay, fleeing out of Egypt. Okay, so we fled back there, and then you have the so-called Bantu tribes, but you have a lot of Hamites in Africa also. But if you go into Congo, and many other countries, you have a lot of so-called Bantu tribes there, or just tribes in general. Okay, maybe you want to leave that word Bantu out, which is not a bad thing. And What are the curses God promised Israel for disobedience? Okay, so this is an explanation why these things could happen. Could have happened, how they happened. Slaka, I mean. Okay. So curses upon city and field, Deuteronomy 28, which you should know. Okay, that Deuteronomy 28 is the chapter. Okay, when it comes to these things. Okay. The curses. Okay. Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field. Let's go on to the next one. Curses upon field, which is Deuteronomy 28 again, 17. Yeah, I want to read that in the KJV. Okay, that is important to me. Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store. Then we have curses upon having children and upon livestock. Good example, when it comes to the things that we see on this photo. So it fits well. And there's so much proof for all the things that happen to us because of these people. You have a bill for that coming. Deuteronomy 28 and 18. Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body and the fruit of thy land, the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep. And then we have curses during travel and at all times. Also, don't be confused, okay, and think that every last so-called white person out there is an oppressor from back then or a torturer from back then. You have enough cases where you have a so-called black man having forefathers being so-called white, and you have a so-called white man having forefathers being so-called black. But you have both before you and think that's the oppressor. But in reality, if you go a little bit back, you have the exact opposite of what you believe. Okay, so the other one was it. Okay, just saying, I'll give you an example because we have extremists on both sides. Okay, we have this black niggas, okay, thinking all black Israel. Okay, which is not the case. Okay. You're lacking basic human understanding. That's the case. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed. Thou hearkenest not unto the voice of thy Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. Yeah. So, in Deuteronomy 28, God provides a list of blessings for obedience in verses 1 to 14, followed by a list of curses for disobedience in verses 15 to 68. Be careful, it could a little bit be different depending on what translation you read, especially if you read from a different language compared to a Bible from another language. Okay. So it might be even the same with all English Bible, I don't know. Okay, I don't even know how much Bible translations exist, and I don't believe that you do. Okay, so that's not a 100% saying, but I just said be careful. While the entire list of verses will not be, because sometimes you might think, oh, that's in that and that chapter, in that and that verse. and chapter is true 100%, but with the verses it might be a little bit different. That's what I mean. Okay, you think it's 51 and then it's 53 even, or 52 in another translation. While the entire list of verses will not be repeated here, the following concepts stand out as curses upon God's people as well for when they disobeyed His laws. Yeah, we will not read all the text, we will go into the scriptures. Okay, this is Ezekiel 35 and 5. Yeah. Because thou hast had a perpetual hate and hast hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Yeah, 1958. Okay. Most sin what we did were already over at that time. Or the biggest sin back there, from back there. 2nd Ezra 6:9 for Esau, Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it, that follow it. Yeah, so he is the end of the world, so to him and but also putting him out of the way, okay, we will know, okay, when the end is, which I told you at the beginning that look what happened in such a short time. And we will continue, okay, from Humanzoo to Humanzoo, okay, to, basically you can imagine already, okay, the Esau, okay, in the kingdom, okay, or you can basically see that Esau's kingdom is going down. Okay, that's where what I can actually prove, man. I can prove that. Okay, Europe, everything. Okay, just look at the economy. Okay, look how much people invest in bunkers. Okay, or build them. Look everywhere, man. Okay. Everybody's getting sick, but also in the head. Okay, look, Corona, what happened? Okay, people lost their jobs. People will lose their jobs further these next years. I don't even know if we have years anymore. Okay, so this is 2 Thessalonians 2:7 and 2:12. For the mystery of iniquity do it already work, only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. There you go. Okay, this is talking about these nations, especially, or in general, Esau first and foremost, of course. This verse is talking, of course, mainly about Esau. But of course, it could possibly talk about other heathen nations also, but it's not about that. In this verse it goes specifically about Esau. Basically, we continue in verse 8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they received not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause God shall send them strong delusion that they should believe a lie, that they all might be damned who believed not the truth but had pleasure in unrighteousness. Yeah, you can count yourself blessed to not being under a strong delusion, so you would believe lies, okay, but obviously you believe in the truth. Malachi 1 and 2, I have loved you, said the Lord, yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother? Said the Lord, yet I loved Jacob. Yeah, and then it goes on in verse 3, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dwellings of the wilderness. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and rebuild desolate places. Yeah, basically you have everywhere you have some kind of some working going on everywhere you look, man. Okay. Some construction site, right? Everywhere you look, man. I can't just talk for Germany, but I bet it's over there where you live also the case. Yeah, they shall build, you see. That's a prophecy. Construction sites everywhere. But I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness. And also there's another scripture that says, the more they increase, the more will I be angry with their sins. Okay, that's talking about Yahweh, Shem, while they stacking up on what is not theirs. And people against whom the Lord had indignation forever, and your eyes shall see, and ye shall say that the Lord will be magnified from the border of Israel. Hebrews 12:16, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau. It's like a profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. Yeah, and you best believe. Maybe Jacob was not even finished cooking the meat, but he wasn't cooking the meat a little bit more, but he already ate it when it still was wet, who knows. But that's just Eve, and how you identify Eve in general. Eating the meat while there's still blood in it, not good cooked, but really a little bit cooked, if at all. Okay, if you look at Instagram and different social media sites. Genesis 36 and 8, thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir. Esau was Edom, so it's a nation. It's not Esau. We don't talk about one man, we talk about a nation that came from Esau. Okay, please study the scriptures. Psalm 137. Okay, so of course if we use the word Esau, we mean always the nation of Edom. Okay, the nation of Esau, not one man. Makes no sense. Okay, get the fuck out of here. Psalms 137 and 7. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, wasted, even to the foundation thereof, out of Babylon, which is America, for example, who are to be destroyed. Yeah, nuclear ICBM missiles really soon. Okay, after the main big prophecy that comes before that, which is the MOTB. Which MOTB is a code word. If you don't know, look it up, you will find it. You need to find it right now, because if you don't, then there's something wrong, okay? If you listen to this video and you don't know that code word, there's something not right. Happy shall he be that rewarded thee as thou hast served us. Yeah. And that example what we was going into. Happy shall he be that take it and dash it thy little ones against the stones. Yeah. Exodus 17 and 14, and the Lord said unto Moses, Write this for a memorial. It's lucky I have dry lips. For a memorial in a book, and we hears it in the ears of Joshua. For I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven. Yeah, and you might think, who is Amalek? Amalek is the main tribe of the main tribe of Esau, Amalek, and this is Wikipedia. Amalek okay, is described as the enemy. Here you have a picture, okay, illustration from Philip Midhurst collection depicting Joshua fighting Amalek. Yeah, you have that with so-called black men. You know, we have different shades of browns, of course. So, you know, different tribes in between Israel, but also about about it. The painting shows when we came out of Egypt. Okay, what happened to us? Okay, Amalek was the first one who fought us, and also how he fought us. You know, going against the weak ones first. You know, the children. You know, the elders. Just the weak ones in general. Okay. Amalek is described in the Hebrew Bible as the enemy of the nation of the Israelites. The name Amalek can refer to the descendants of Amalek, Can, the grandson of Esau, Can, or anyone who lived in their territories in Canaan, or not African descendants of Ham, the son of Noah. Okay, Edom. Who is Edom? Because we was reading Esau's Edom. Okay, we're going to Wikipedia again. Edom may also refer to here. Edom, okay, means wet. If you don't know that, if you go into the etymology, which means study of words, and you type in Edom, or is it the Blue Letter Bible? Okay, let's just check it out. Etymology, Edom. Yeah, wet. Okay, so etymology is talking about it, and you best believe the Blue Letter Bible, which goes into the Hebrew meaning, the wood words, you know, it goes also into wet. So why wet? Because you see the blood to the skin of Edom. Okay, this of Esau, which means he has to be so-called white. First and foremost, not every. Okay, but yeah, we need something to identify, we need the truth, and that's why we know that certain things are in the scriptures how they are. Okay, or Idumea is also a word that you will find in an English Bible. Just an example. What does Idumea mean? Checked it out. As a matter of fact, Idumea. Edom, it already shows up. Okay. The people appear under a Greek form of their old name as Idumeans or Idumeans, and their new territory was called Idumea or Idumea. Okay. The country inhabited by the descendants of Edom. Okay. Yeah. Was an ancient kingdom that stretched across, which is revived. We live in Edom right now. Kingdom that stretched across areas in the south of present-day Jordan and Israel. Edom and the Edomites appear in several, so it gives you the answer here. What I was reading, Esau is Edom, but it's logical sense. Appear in several written sources relating to the Late Bronze Age, Iron Age, and so on. Okay, so yeah. So basically, what we want to learn in this, that we have learned in this lesson is, the bill. Okay, the bill is not even finished yet. Okay, the printing of the bill, it's not finished yet. And you are at the restaurant, and that since, let's say, since Satan came out of prison, even before that, that's the That's the crazy thing, okay? So let's say before the transatlantic slave trade, and even before that. So let's say it started with kind of like with Amalek, okay, when we came out of Egypt, which which Amalek has a bit, you know, the bad light is really on Amalek, man. No matter how you put it, there you go. But let's just say it started some, you know, to be not too accurate, of course. Let's just say it started somewhere around Amalek when we came out of Egypt, right? There was the day where you have the bill, okay, and the bill is pointed. There's pointed on the bill a date and a time where you visit the restaurant, okay, and that bill is so long. It is still rolling out to that day where we live in right now, okay. This edit, 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 this edit. Then we have the time of Yahushai, a really important time. Okay. Then it continues. This edit, 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 this edit. All the way until Yahushai comes back the second time. You know? I just talk about the main things. So what happens now? The bill has to be paid. Okay. And the bill is so long. Okay. If the other nations see it, they will think like, are we even wicked? And with that I say, Shalom and double honors to the listener apostles of goodness.